Yo, what is up, guys? It's Pedro here, and I got my guy Juan on here for another Washington Commanders live stream. It's going to take a long time to get used to it, but it is the name. So we're going to talk about the name, the uniforms a little bit in the beginning of the stream. We'll get into, the quarterback of the future talk because we're going to have to try to go get one this off season. We'll go over the Senior Bowl a little bit because that is this week. Senior Bowl game is tomorrow, so a lot to get to. And then, at the end, if we have time, we'll take questions, talk about free agency and the draft. How you doing, Juan?
I'm doing good, man. I appreciate you for having me on. And yeah, like you said, Commanders, that's gonna take some time to get used to, man. But hey, it is what it is.
Yep, and let's say hi to some people in the chat. J World, my guy Rashad. Let's see, Brian and Eric. Appreciate all you guys for coming through. So, what are your thoughts on the command? Let's start with the name itself. What are your thoughts on the commander's name?
Yeah, my thoughts on the name. It is what it is. I mean, I was gonna be a fan regardless. I didn't care what the name was. Um, but we already knew it, so it kind of it wasn't surprising to me because we kind of already knew it. And Commanders, it's fine. I don't have a problem with it. It's gonna grow on me, but the only thing I kind of do have a problem with is hashtag take command. I'm just not a big fan of that hashtag. We need to find something else to come up with, but hashtag take command kind of it sounds a little, I'm not really a big fan of that, but the name itself, it's fine to me. It really doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, it's in my opinion, I agree with you. It's fine. Like, I don't love the name, but I don't hate it at the same time. I mean, I think it's better than Wizards and probably Capitals and Nationals. I mean, it's all right. It's not like our old name. I love that old name, but we had to change it, and I understand that. But Commanders is all right. The only thing I wish they would have done an actual logo. You know what I mean? Because all they did was because their primary logo is a W. They have the patch, but the primary logo is a W, and I don't know.
Yeah,
I wish they had something else, you know?
it seems it's pretty bland. It's pretty bland to be honest. It's literally just a customized Washington football team W, like from last year. It's literally just a customized W. Now here's the thing. Jason Wright did say we're possibly coming up with a mascot down down the line. So could the mascot, when that gets revealed, eventually turn into the logo? Possibly, but yeah, I agree. I don't like the logo at all either. It's just plain W, you know. But then again, what could a Commander's logo be? Maybe a C,
I
but
mean, I saw there was San Antonio Commanders, and they actually had like a logo, like they had like some guy, and I think like a sword or something. It was just better than what we had, and I think I just wish they did something different because it's just like you said, it's just a W. It's just a W, and it's kind of like it's pretty bland, like you said. Let's see. Let's say hi to some people in the chat. Eric, VA Money Group, Michael, J World, Dubs Family. Appreciate you guys coming through. Patrick, Brent, Brian, and Day Quavis in Washington, diehard fan. But the name is all right. I think there's a lot of stupid names in sports, and yeah, some of them have history, but they're still like I don't know, not great names. Like the Browns are named after Paul Brown, but like still, I mean, that's just the Browns. Like I don't like that name at all. I mean, you're named after a person, their last name. I don't like that name. Their, colors are bad. But, people get used to it. You don't even think about the name. You just think about the team. You just think about the team you're rooting for. And that's what's going to happen with us. Commanders is all right. They didn't, there was only a couple names I didn't really want, and that would have been like Washington Freedom or Washington Belters. That would have been trash. Commanders is all right. It's not not my top choice, but it's also not my worst choice. So I'm fine with it.
yeah. Again, everything will get fixed by winning. It didn't matter, even though you didn't want Belters or Freedom. If we were the Freedom and we were winning games, who really would give a damn? Like honestly. So again, Washington Commanders, it is. And now we can finally move forward to more important things, such as getting us a quarterback.
Yeah, I agree, Dev. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. So, your thoughts on the uniforms? Give me like quick on each one. Give me your thoughts, and then which one you rank the uniforms.
Yeah, so we'll start with the Bergs. Bergs are great. Pretty classic. I mean, it's a different shade of burgundy, but it's for the most part pretty classic of the old Washington uniforms, I guess you would say. So that's fine with me. Didn't have a problem with that at all. I liked it. Then you move on to the white ones. Favorites. I love it. I think I only heard one other person that liked the white ones. Everyone else does not like the white ones for obvious reasons. It's not burgundy. It's like a cardinal red. It's not our color. But for some reason, I like it like that. I like it. It's pretty. It's really, really different. And that those are my favorite jerseys. I'm gonna get a Cameron Curl white jersey of that one right there. I love it. That's my favorite one. And then the black one, I like it too. It gives me like Pittsburgh Steelers vibes. The only issue that I have with the black ones is the small W in the middle. If they could find a way to just take that out out the conclusion, and the picture on the black jerseys, I would be fine with every uniform because for the most part, even though they kind of botched this name, the uniforms they did kill it on.
Yeah, I think my favorites are the burgundy ones. I like those. I mean, they just look like a Washington uniform would. A little, there's a couple tweaks with the Commanders in the front. I think that's a little bit too big. It is what it is. They got the patch on the back. I think they could. I don't know. I don't like the patch right over the nameplate. I think that's with both uniforms with the red and white, but it is what it is. And I would say the white ones I like. I think they look super, super clean, but they just don't feel like Washington to me. So I think it's going to take a little bit of time to get adjusted to it, but I will start to, come around to it eventually. But I wish it was burgundy, but I think I will, come around to it. And the black, I think, are unique, and I want to see these guys in them before I, truly give out, my ranking. But I still think those are solid. And we've seen some edits on Twitter, on Instagram of these guys in the uniforms, and they look better than just seeing the uniform itself.
Yeah, I agree. I think that. Yeah, I was just contemplating on the other uniforms. I think even though it's different, I'm still gonna rock with the white ones. Jason Wright also did say that in 2 years we'll have another uniform, so it'll be interesting to see what they do there too.
Yeah, I mean, I could see like a camo jersey or something. That would be cool because I'm trying to think of what else they would do, right? But we'll see. I think the black ones, I'm wondering how many times they're planning to use it. Maybe like a couple ones, right? A couple times a year during primetime games or any big games that they have. And Michael says once you see the white jersey with the burgundy pants, you'll like them. Yeah, I mean, again, we got to see them with a full uniform on. The only thing is, like, the uniforms, all of them barely had any gold in them at all. So that is something that maybe they could have added, but it is what it is. I'm excited to see, these guys in the uniforms, I guess, in preseason and then the regular season. And I think eventually we're going to get used to it. I think we will. And yeah, I mean, it's not a huge deal. The name rollout, it was okay. I mean, I think they could have done, a little bit more, get a little bit more hype into it because it is a thing that, isn't going to happen, hopefully, in a long time. And it was a once in, 90-year thing. It was 90 years since, they first had the name. So I mean, I just don't. I think they could have done more, but it is what it is. It's an okay name, solid jerseys. Logo needs work, and that's things that you can change are logos and uniforms. Those things you can change over time. Like you look at the Ravens. Like if you go ahead and look up Ravens like 2000 logo or whenever they came in. Or even like in the middle 2000s. I mean, their logo was not that good. They just changed it over time. And it looks sick right now. It looks sick right now, and they're gonna be able to change it over time. Yeah, I'm just looking at it, and it's hideous. It is hideous. I'm gonna pull it up on the screen right now. I wanna, but yeah, I mean, let's see. We're going to be able to, switch these up a little bit in the next couple years. I mean, it might be a little bit too late for this coming year, but like you see this Ravens logo right here, like that does not look good compared to what it is right now. It does not look good, and switch it up. It looks a lot better right now, but like this right here doesn't look good at all. And I think I think Washington's gonna be able to change it up in a little bit, and add some. Once they get a mascot, maybe that will help.
Yeah. Again, what would it be though? Like, so Commanders is apparently a Navy rank, like in the Navy. So what would it be? Like a Navy guy, like some type of Army guy or something? Like, what do you think? Like the mascot would be? What would make the perfect sense?
Let me pull it up right here. This was a San Antonio Commanders logo right here. You see the sword, and then they have the little patch. And I mean, Washington could do
That's
something
okay.
similar to this. They have the sword, and maybe in the background they have like the Capitol or the Washington Monument. I think that would look sick.
That's okay, but I mean, we already took their name. I don't.
Yeah.
We kind of you don't want to take their logo too, but then
Well,
again, they
you know what else we took? We took their slogan, hashtag Take Command. That was in their Twitter profile
yeah.
from a few years ago. They haven't tweeted, I don't think, in a while. And Take Command, hashtag Take Command was in their profile pic.
I mean, they don't exist anymore. So like, I mean, I guess you can take all of their stuff. To be honest, I mean, because they don't, the league doesn't exist anymore. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it is. Let me fix that right there. It is what it is. So now moving on from name talk, quarterback of the future. I mean, that's really what matters. Dan Snyder being out and the quarterback of the future. I don't think the first part is going to happen anytime soon. I mean, we'll see, but things keep piling on, and nothing changes. So I don't think Snyder's going to be gone anytime soon. Hopefully he is, but I don't think so. What do you think? I know you made a video about it today. I didn't get a chance to watch it, but any thoughts you have?
yeah. I agree. I don't think nothing's gonna happen, but it definitely should. He shouldn't even got to this point. But today they are actually accusing Daniel Snyder of actually partaking in the assault. A recent in memory, they will always accuse people around Daniel Snyder, but they never would come forth about specifically Dan, or at least I don't remember them actually doing it. Now they are. So again, like I said, I don't think anything's gonna happen, but it should happen. Like the guy is a sick person. I mean, one of the ladies said he shouldn't be managing human beings. One of the ladies said that he tried to force her into his limousine. What more evidence does the NFL need to see to get rid of this guy? And apparently now we won't be able to see the reports unless he okays it. And we know he isn't going to do that because it's a lot of foul stuff in those reports that he doesn't want us to see. So again, I just don't know what the NFL sees into why they want to keep him, but he needs to be gone. He should have been gone a decade ago.
Yeah, I agree, and I think it's just that I just think that it's they want to. I think they're just protecting all the owners because it's definitely not just Daniel Snyder that's done this. He's just the one that's gotten accused and gotten caught because of everything that's been going on. So I think once one owner goes down, others would start to as well. Other people would start to come forward, and I think those owners, the NFL is scared of that. But I think they shouldn't. These accusations should not be taken lightly, and there should be action put on Daniel Snyder and the Washington, yeah, I mean them in particular. I mean, we shouldn't really be punished like the Commanders. They shouldn't get draft pick penalized, but I think Snyder himself should get punished. I mean, $10 million fine, that's a slap on the wrist. I know it's the biggest fine in NFL history, but $10 million for Snyder, that's nothing. That's nothing. So hopefully that can change in the future. And someone put it in the chat. Let's see, who was this? Someone talked. Let me see. John said, I would love a new stadium in DC. So that's another thing. The next few years, we're going to be talking about. Do you have? I mean, I think everyone wants a stadium in DC. I think, though, I mean, I don't know. It's going to be tough, though, to get it in DC. I think DC is the unlikeliest landing spot, even though it should be the number one spot. It's going to be hard to get space there. I think it's going to be Northern Virginia. Like, I think Michael Phillips, who, is really into this stuff, he had his predictions, and he had, I think, Loudoun County as his number one. I, again, rather have it in D.C., but it's looking like it might not be, even though Mayor Bowser said she wants it to be. But at the end of the day, she doesn't control all of that.
Yeah, you can take Maryland out of the conclusion because, again, like I said, FedEx Field was terrible. It's in PG County. It's great for me though because I'm near it. But you could take Maryland out of it. If it's not in PG County again, it can't be in the other parts of Maryland because every other part of Maryland is Ravens Nation, Ravens, and Orioles and stuff like that. That's more like Northern Maryland and like Eastern, Western. Like again, the only part of Maryland that makes sense for Washington football team or Washington Commanders to be in would be Southern Maryland. They already had it in Prince George's County. That was an epic fail. So it's only two places that it really could be. That's Virginia and DC. And I think Ralph Northern came out and said something about the stadium, a possibility of a stadium, and it wasn't something good. So I mean, I don't know. But it honestly should be in DC. I mean, the team is literally Washington Commanders. Why is it not in the city that it's literally named after? So if they have to make space, it needs to be in DC.
Yeah, I agree. I really hope it happens because, no offense to Maryland, but I just do not like the commute to Landover Field. It's like an hour and a half away, and it's just too long. It's too long. And I think having it in DC would be much better. I mean, we're, Washington for a reason. We should be playing there. I know some other teams don't, but we should be playing in Washington. So now on to the quarterbacks. So I think a lot of fans agree that Washington needs to swing big at a quarterback this offseason. They can't settle for Jimmy G, any of these guys. And I think that they need to try to take a big swing at one of the big name quarterbacks in Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, Aaron Rodgers, any of those guys. So I think you would agree as well. So out of those guys, and you can throw Derek Carr in there as well, what is your, ranking of them and who you would trade for?
Well, out of all three, Deshaun Watson's number one. Like you didn't ask me the realistic one. You just asked me like who out of all of them, who
Yeah.
out of all four, who would be like the best one. Deshaun Watson. Out of every, and I'm taking Derek Carr off that list because Josh McDaniels is now the head coach of the Raiders, right? I haven't seen him confirm it yet, but I'm pretty sure it's confirmed, right? That he is the Raiders head coach. So, and he basically came out and already said that he has the perfect game plan to take Derek Carr to the next level. So you can take Derek Carr off that list. Now it's really just Rodgers, Wilson, and Watson. But then again, is it really Rodgers? Every day I wake up, I feel like the more realistic option is Russell Wilson. I don't know why I have that gut feeling, but I feel like they really want Russell Wilson. But again, out of all the options, the best one is literally Deshaun Watson, and it's not even close. I know how good Aaron Rodgers is. I know how good Russell Wilson is, but you're talking about a guy that was playing at the MVP level, caliber level before he had this season. He set out, and he's only 26, 27. Like the guy has ample time to get better, and he has ample time to continue playing ball. And he's just going into his prime of his career if he's already not in it. I don't think he is, honestly.
Yeah, I think Watson and Wilson are kind of number one for me. I mean, Wilson is going to be a little bit cheaper, so that's why I think he's kind of like tied with Watson. But either one you get, I would absolutely love. Wilson, you're going to get him for less time likely, but he's 33. Like it's not like he's not going to be able to play for a long time. He's still got 5, 6, 7 good years of football with him, and Deshaun Watson, if he gets cleared, he's going to have a lot of good football ahead of him. I mean, he's 26 years old. He's got like 14 years of good football left in him. And then Aaron Rodgers, he's the least realistic option. And also, like, I'd rather have Wilson or Watson just because, I mean, he's 38 years old. Every year there's something with him like, oh, I'm going to do Jeopardy like the last couple of years. And you don't know if you're going to, be able to have him for, you don't know how long you're going to be able to have him for. So that's why I would much rather get those other two. And I don't think Aaron Rodgers would come here. And, Deshaun Watson and Wilson might not. But there's a more realistic chance those two would come here. Do you think there's any chance that Wilson or Watson will come here?
Yeah, I do. I think those are the two realistic ones, like you said. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is realistic at all. Um, I really hope it's Deshaun Watson. I know it's probably not, but I really hope it is. But for some reason, like I said, every day I wake up, I just feel like Russell Wilson is going to be in Washington when it's all said and done. I don't know why I have that feeling, but I do.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I would absolutely love it, and I'm getting a jersey right away if that happens. I'm getting a jersey right away, and let's see. What's up, Philip? Appreciate you coming through. One Life Music. And let me read this real quick. Leonard Smiley, appreciate the $2 donation. Man, I missed the yellow face mask already. And yeah, I mean, I agree with that. And that would have been a way to incorporate the gold into without putting in the uniforms. You can keep it in the helmet. I agree with you. That is something, and that's something they can change. I don't know if they can change it this year, but that is something that I think they should do. And if Jason Wright really is wants to involve the fans, he should ask for their feedback. Next, this next, not this off season, but the next off season, in terms of the logo, maybe some uniform tweaks. I don't know if they're going to be able to do that, but definitely the logo and the you know yeah, but mainly the logo and maybe some helmet changes they can definitely do. In terms of the jerseys, yeah, I mean, I heard that. I mean, I saw if you want to get a jersey shipped, you gotta wait until what's it called? You gotta wait until the late May. So I'm gonna just wait to see what we do at the quarterback position, because if we take a big swing at the quarterback position, I'm gonna go ahead and get a jersey. So I'm just gonna wait, and I would advise you guys to wait too, because I mean, it's gonna come out. You're gonna get your jersey late May, and I think they're gonna be cheaper then too. So I'm just gonna wait, see what we do at the quarterback position. I'm not gonna get any rookie jerseys, but if we do end up somehow going for a big name quarterback like Wilson, Watson, I'm definitely copping a jersey. Let's see. Hail to the Commanders. Yep. I mean, I guess that's our slogan, or take command. We're gonna have to figure something out. King Sean, appreciate you coming through. Yeah, Dominique, I agree. The white jerseys could use a little bit more gold. Does anybody wear number 3 for the Commanders? Juan, do you know? I think, does Joey Sly? What does he wear? Does he wear?
Like this jersey number,
Yeah.
number 3.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. So Joey Sly, that's who wears number 3.
Yeah.
Juan, you're getting any jerseys or no? I think Cameron Curl, that's what he said.
Yeah, Cameron Curl and Jared Patterson are the two that I'm getting as of right now, but more likely than not, going to be more in the future. But those are like they're like the main two that I'm trying to get now.
Yeah, I'm gonna be getting an Jonathan Allen jersey, and if we get a quarterback, I'm gonna get one of those definitely for sure. And I'm kind of deciding on which color, because I mean I have all burgundy right now, and I'm thinking maybe I get a white. We'll see. Maybe even a black. I don't know. That's going to be interesting right there. Leonard says thought on Mariota or Marcus possibly coming to Washington. Marcus Mariota. I rather not. I just rather go. I like Winston better. I mean, I view Marcus Mariota in that same boat as Trubisky. If you get one of those guys, you definitely have to draft a QB early. What do you think, Juan? You there, Juan?
Yeah, I'm right here. My trying to fix my camera. My
You're
fault.
good.
It kind of went out. Okay, here it is. Repeat the question again, my fault.
Let me see. What are your thoughts on Marcus Mariota?
Oh nah, I don't want Mariota. I don't know why my camera. So I think I might have to finish the stream like this. I'm still gonna try to fix it, but it's like out right now. But you can still hear me though, right?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
All right. Yeah. So Mariota, nah, I don't want Mariota. Guy's injury prone. I mean, the dude literally is a backup and still pulled his hamstring. So like, no, I don't want Mariota.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, just gets injured way too much for me. And yeah, I mean, I agree with people in the chat. Yeah, I mean, Jay World says all in on Watson. If he gets cleared, I'm all in on him. Russell Wilson, Derek Carr likely also, like you said, he's going to stick with the Raiders. But if for some reason he's not going to be there, I would trade up. I would trade for him because Mark Davis does not really like Derek Carr that much. So we'll see on that part. So let's move on. We'll come back to quarterbacks a little bit. But what are your thoughts on the Senior Bowl? I mean, I haven't really watched I've watched some clips and but I haven't watched that many. But I've heard some things on Twitter. Any guys, anything you're hearing or any notable things you saw from Senior Bowl so far?
Yeah, let's just address it now. Yes, Malik Willis is killing it at practice right now, but I want to see what he's gonna do tomorrow. I'm not gonna buy into the Malik Willis hype until I see what he does tomorrow on an actual game. Now, again, I don't want to discredit him and discredit what he's been doing this whole week. But again, I just want to see it on a real stage. More alarming than Malik Willis being performing well is the quarterback's performing bad. Let's see. I think the camera came back on. All right, you see me now?
There you go.
All right. Yeah. So, because the thing for me with Malik Willis, it's not the talent. We know he has the talent. Reason why he went to Auburn. The biggest issue with me is not even with Malik Willis. It's with us. It's with our organization. Are we going to develop this raw quarterback into something special? I don't think we can. I think our offensive coordinator is too stubborn to his game plan to switch it up to build it around Malik Willis's strengths. So that's the reason why I don't want him here. Not because he's not good, but because I don't think our organization is good enough to develop a quarterback like Malik Willis. My thing that's more alarming is the quarterbacks that are struggling. Kenny Pickett struggled in the rain. Desmond Ridder struggled in the rain. Bailey Zapp struggled in the rain, I think so. Was it Bailey Zapp or Carson Strong? I think it was Bailey Zapp that struggled in the rain. Those are the things that's more alarming to me because especially with Kenny Pickett, we already know he has small hands and he's going to be having to play against the elements if he was to come to Washington, right? So that's the thing that's more alarming to me as far as the quarterback position. And I'll be honest, like Pedro, I haven't really paid attention to it. I've read the tweets, but I haven't really sat down and watched practice just because I really didn't care that much. I was going to wait for the game. And that's the only position that I've really been looking at. I haven't been looking at no other position groups just because quarterbacks is the most important. But yeah, that's my quick analysis on it.
So I would say, I mean, I know that Kenny Pickett and Malik Willis won Player of the Week, or I think Offensive Player of the Week. So Kenny Pickett, I mean, he was struggling a little bit in that rainy day. I don't think it's a big issue though because he does play at Pitt and they have bad weather conditions all the time, and he was playing fine. So I think that's fine. But yeah, I mean, we were talking about it before we started the stream, but I mean, we both want to see these guys play in games because practice is whatever. I mean, it really matters what you can do in the game. And I mean, it's great to see Malik Willis make these great throws on one-on-one routes where the receiver's winning like 75% of the time because it's a drill designed for receivers, a one-on-one open space, open field. Quarterback can do whatever he wants, no safety help. That's great. But let's see what he can do in the game. I mean, and who knows? He might ball out. Same thing with Pickett. I want to see what these guys look like in the game. Sam Howell, Desmond Ridder, so we can compare them to each other because they're pretty much playing in the same conditions, same weather, same stadium. Two different teams, same players. So this is going to be a really good measuring stick for these guys. Those are my thoughts.
Yeah. And before you read the donation, that's easy. Deshaun Watson will wear number 4. I think he's gonna give that number up with the quickness.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Deshaun Watson is number 4, but you have a donation though.
Yeah, let me see. Let me read 2 questions. What do you think of the exclusion of gold on most of the jerseys? And if you were on the clock, who would you pick between Pickett and Willis? So, jerseys, I think should have been a little bit more gold on the jerseys. At the end of the day, though, it's gonna take time to get used to it. But I agree. Maybe even add some gold to the face masks. That would have been nice. Willis and Pickett, I've been on the Pickett train for a while, but it's so early, right? So right now I would say Pickett, but it could really, really change after we see stuff in the Senior Bowl. I watch more film and stuff like that. So I'll go Pickett for now. But Willis is creeping up a little bit just because I've been realizing more and more like Pickett, I think, is going to be solid, but I don't know if he has that upside. And Willis has super low floor, but he has a ton of upside. So, we'll see. I'm going Pickett for now, but Willis is moving up those ranks. I know you like Pickett, right?
Yeah, I'm a Pickett guy. I like Pickett. I would definitely still take Pickett. And again, like I told you, my issue isn't with Malik Willis, the player. We know he is talented. I just don't think this staff is good enough to develop him into the next big thing. That's the biggest thing with Malik Willis is he has a super high ceiling. Like, excuse me, the potential for Malik Willis is out this roof. And can we pull that out of him? I'm not sure. If we can't find a way to pull it out of him, he's going to be a Dwayne Haskins all over again. But if we can, then this guy is going to be the next big thing. Because I mean, the arm strength is there, the athleticism is there, the smart seems to be there, and he's finally throwing to players that are actual other good players. No offense to Liberty, but like it's no other NFL talent on that team besides him. Now he's throwing to other NFL talent, and he looks good. But yeah, I would still take Kenny Pickett just to be safe and just because I like him a little bit more, with the simple fact that I think our coaching staff will be able to work with him easier. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, and appreciate the $10 donation, Philip B. We're not going to get Watson because of our team's pass assault issues. Better luck on swinging for Wilson or Rodgers. We're going to get a rookie. I don't see us landing that. I definitely agree with that last statement. Like, I'm optimistic about getting Wilson or Watson or something like that, but it's just tough to see, right? It's tough to see because I think Watson will be on the move. The question is, does he get cleared from these charges? Also, does he want to come to Washington? Then Wilson, the first question is, will he even leave DC or Seattle? And then after that, will he come to Washington? And will Washington pay enough for him? The Watson stuff, obviously, if he doesn't get cleared, he's not coming here. And yeah, even if he does get cleared, I mean, it's going to be a bad. I mean, Washington always has bad PR, but I mean, if they get Watson, especially like if it somehow happened in the next couple weeks, I mean, the media would be piling on us because of all the charges we have right now, all the charges that Watson had against him. So yeah, that's definitely going to be a tough one. I still think it's a possibility though, but it would definitely not be the best look for both parties. We'll see if he gets cleared, it's a little bit different. But at the end of the day, I mean, a lot of these are civil, so it doesn't really mean he didn't do it. It really doesn't. But yeah, I mean, that's why I think Wilson's a little bit higher than me, just because I do think I don't know if we're going to be able to trade for Watson because of that. And Watson, before the Brian Flores news came out that he got fired from Miami, he did not want to come to Washington. Like he was not going to waive his no trade clause to come here. Appreciate that donation, Philip B. What's up, Splitzery? Appreciate you coming through. So, I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Because it is a valid point. I've heard it before. Like, how can Washington, who's facing a bunch of charges because of workplace, stuff like that, in the last, decade or so, how can they get someone like Watson who's kind of being accused of the same things?
Simple. Because they want to win. Who cares? Like, honestly, who cares? He is a phenomenal quarterback, top 10, top 5 quarterback in the league when he plays. Who gives a damn? I just want to win games, man. You know what I'm saying? And the longer this investigation goes, the longer he is found, innocent, I would say, or the more this thing goes without anything being proven guilty against Deshaun Watson, I think he's innocent. You know, but who cares? We just want to win games, so I really think they wouldn't care. They really wouldn't, and neither should anyone in this room care about what happened because we know when he plays on the field, he's literally a top 5 quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with he's a top 5 quarterback in the NFL when he's on the field. And I would if he's clear, I would definitely do it. If he's not, I mean, the question is like, will he be available to play? I don't know. Will the NFL punish him? I mean, they didn't last year, so I don't know if they would this year. That's just something to keep our eye out for. But that's definitely a good point, Philip. But yeah, let's hope let's hope we can get Snyder out of here. I mean, really hope we can. And then maybe it's a little bit different. But at the end of the day, I don't think nothing's going to take Snyder away from here. I think he's going to be here for a very, very long time. So, I mean, Senior Bowl, that's going to be, I might even post a video. I'm not sure if tomorrow or Sunday, but kind of recapping the Senior Bowl, any guys I liked over the week and over the game, because, I mean, there's 5 quarterbacks or 4 quarterbacks that are might go in the first round, and then you got some other guys as well that are. I mean, all the top quarterbacks are there except for Matt Corral. So we're gonna definitely be able to see these guys play. So football Maddox says, "Hey, what about Sam Howell? He has a very high upside and that De'Ami Brown connection." I mean, I don't know if he has high upside. I mean, I don't know. I like Howell, but I mean, he's not my top 3. I think I have Willis, Pickett, and Corral over him. He's in that next tier with, Ritter, Strong, those guys. But, he does have a good deep ball. And, like you said, he has that connection to De'Ami Brown. Maybe he can get more out of De'Ami than, Taylor Heineke and the rest of the guys did. How about, do you like Sam Howell, Juan?
Honestly, I haven't really watched a ton of Sam Howell. Someone said he looks like a fat Baker Mayfield. But I haven't really watched a ton of him. But from the glimpses I've seen, he's okay. He does look like a guy that I could see washed in drafting. But again, I haven't watched a ton of Sam Howell just yet, but he looked fine to me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he has that high upside. And what's up, Big Simple? Appreciate you coming through. Make sure you guys go ahead and check him out on YouTube. But yeah, I don't know if he has a high upside, but does have that connection with De'Ami Brown. And I would, I don't think I would draft him in the first, though. I don't think I would draft him in the first. But if it's in the second, then that's when I'm like, okay, I'll go ahead and try to go ahead and get him. But do you like? How about any other quarterbacks that you like besides Kenny Pickett? You there, Juan? All right, I think Juan's having a little technical difficulties with a camera, but we'll get him back in here in a little bit. So, any questions you guys have in the chat, go ahead. Some, quick, not news, but Chris Harris interviewing for the Colts defensive coordinator job. So, we're going to get news on that soon. So, we'll see if we have to replace him. And it looks like we won't be making any. We'll be making any coaching changes, which disappointing. I mean, I definitely want us to get rid of Sam Mills. I think he was a prime on our D line. I think we should have got rid of him a while ago, even before this year. But I mean, it is what it is. If we can get someone else in there, I really wish we could. But I think we're going to keep Sam Mills. Really keep everyone. The only question is, will Chris Harris still be back here? Juan, are you back?
No, yeah, I was here the whole time I was talking. I just don't know why it
Oh,
wasn't
okay.
picking up or anything. I'm having some issues. I don't know, the camera went out too. But I mean, I'll try to stay like this, and I guess until it come back on. But I'm here.
All right. So I forgot what question to ask you.
I think was it? I'm not sure honestly. Was it about was it about the coaching staff? Because I remember you asked me about Sam Howell.
Yeah, it was. What do you? I forgot about that question, but what do you think about Chris Harris? I mean, do you
Yeah,
think he's going to get a DC job,
he
defensive
should.
coordinator job?
He definitely should. Do I want him to? Yes, I do because he deserves it. It's gonna suck. It sucks because he is one of the best coaches we have on this staff. But yeah, he definitely deserves to get a defensive coordinator job. He's a guy that I could see getting a head coaching job in the next decade. He definitely deserves it.
Yeah. I guess Splitzer said Gus Bradley's the new DC. I did not see that, so I mean, I guess that's good news for Washington. I think um, I maybe saw something about that, but I guess that means we're gonna basically have the same staff we've had for the last 2 years. Yeah, you're right. They hired him like a couple hours ago, so um, we'll see. I mean, we're gonna have the same staff we've had for the last couple years. I think there could have been some changes at the linebackers coach, Steve Russ, D-line coach, and Sam Mills. But I mean, we'll see. I mean, if things don't go right this season, major changes are going to be need to be made. Sorry, including some of the coordinators and definitely the assistant coaches. I'm kind of disappointed they didn't make any changes at all.
Yeah, I agree. Just the same too, basically with you. Like we can go over everyone, honestly. Starting from quarterback, Kenzen Peasy, fine. He can stay. Randy Jordan, fine, obviously. Drew Terrell, I'm fine with. Pete Hayner, I'm fine with. John Masco, I mean, obviously, John Masco, probably our best positional coach. Then you flip sides to defense. Sam Mills, I want him gone. I can't stand Sam Mills. Steve Russ, same thing. Then obviously, Chris Harris, he can stay. Um, and Nate Kaiser, I guess he's fine too, right? So the only ones that I have an issue with is same with you, Steve Russ and Sam Mills. I just feel like both of those guys aren't getting the best potential that they should be getting out of their specific position group players.
Yes, for sure. I mean, those guys. I mean, the D line should have been much better than it was this year. Chase Young, Montez Sweat, they should have been much better. And yes, definitely, part of that is on those players. Of course, a lot of it is on those players, but it's also on the coaching staff, especially the position coach, to help develop those guys. And because Jack Del Rio's one man, he's in charge of everyone on the defense. Sam Mills is in charge of the D line, so he has more time to spend on these guys. And I mean, a lot of the guys did not develop. So he's a guy I definitely would have tried to move on from. I definitely would. Someone said Fred Smoot for secondary coach. So now let's go on to free agency. So I mean, we've talked about this for a while. It's going to be happening in about a month and a couple weeks. I'm excited for that. I don't think we're going to make any big moves, but if we had to make one big move, besides re-signing Terry and any of our guys, what would that big move be?
Cool. Shoot, because again, I understand we have holes, guys, but we're literally a quarterback away from competing for a Super Bowl. So honestly, let's see here. I think we may have to go position before I can answer that. I think we may have to go position by position. Quarterback, no good free agent quarterbacks. No.
Only one that's okay is Winston, but he's not going to be
okay
a
for you.
franchise guy. What?
That's okay for you.
Yeah, he's okay
That's
for
okay
me.
for you, not me. I don't want James Winston. So free agent quarterbacks, trash. We don't need a free agent quarterback anyway. We need a franchise quarterback. Running backs, we're fine. I'm not talking about the free agent crop. I'm just talking about us specifically. Running backs, we're fine. Now, if we don't resign J.D. McKissick, then we may have a problem. Tony Gibson, assuming we resign J.D. McKissick, though, Tony Gibson, J.D. McKissick, Jared Patterson, fine. Wide receivers, Curtis Samuel, Terry McLaurin, De'Ami Brown are pretty much your three locks. Fine. But here's my thing. I think wide receiver is probably the only position in free agency that we should possibly look to upgrade. Here's why. Offensive line, fine. You brought back Charles Leno. You possibly could be losing Cornelius Lucas, and I think you will be because he can go start somewhere else. But other than that, unless you don't bring back Tyler Larson, you're fine. Then you flip sides to defense. D-line, fine. Maybe you address the interior defensive line depth because you're going to be losing Tim Settle more likely than not. But other than that, I think you're fine. I like Shaka Tony. I kind of like a little bit of Casey Toohill the more I watch him. Not Casey Toohill. Not Casey Toohill. Shaka Tony and William Bradley. No, not William Bradley King. James Smith Williams. Sorry, not Casey Toohill. Shaka Tony and James Smith Williams. Then you go to linebackers. That's probably another position where we could go out and upgrade that. Maybe Bobby Wagner. I know a lot of people will talk about Bobby Wagner, but that could be another position. And then secondary, I think we're fine there. So honestly, Pedro, for me personally, if we were to make any moves in free agency, it would probably be wide receiver for me. Like, oh, and I'm talking a dog wide receiver too, like Michael Gallup. If we were to do anything, because we're possibly losing Cam Sims this offseason. So we're going to have to find that true wide receiver too. So I think the only position that we really should attract in free agency or go after free agency would be receiver. And Rodgers is a free agent. Is he? I don't think so. Is he?
Which Rodgers? Aaron Rodgers?
I think he's talking about Aaron Rodgers. I don't know. I believe so.
Nah, I don't think Rodgers is a free
Yeah,
agent.
I'm about to say Aaron Rodgers is not a free agent. You definitely ought to trade for him.
Yeah. Let's see. And who knows? We've not necessarily lose Cam Sims, but he is a free agent, so we will have to re-sign him. And this is a point where I'm thinking in Cam Sims' shoes. Like, why am I gonna come back here? Like, he could definitely come back because he got more opportunities in the second half of the season. But it's been the last 3 years, he really hasn't gotten the opportunities he needed to, and he really had to scrap his way up. Like, the year he got the most opportunities was Ron Rivera's first year, and that was the year he didn't even make the roster until he made it on the practice squad. Grind on special teams, got his got himself on the roster just on special teams. So and this year, I mean, he was better than a lot of the receivers that were getting playing time over him, and he was getting no targets. It was disappointing. So I want Cam Sims back. I think he's a good rotational receiver, but I don't know if he's going to be able to. I don't think if he's going to want to come back. Same thing kind of with Tim Settle, more so with Tim Settle, where he's going to get a way better opportunity somewhere else. And, we were not playing him at all in the second half of the season. Alexander Wilson, appreciate the $5 donation, says Washington needs to trade 3 ones, Payne, Sweat, or Young for Rodgers. I'll take Russ, but I think their best bet is Jimmy G. I like Rodgers. I don't know if I would do all that for Rodgers, just because the only way I'm doing that for Rodgers is if Rodgers says writes it on paper, I'm playing here for 5+ years. And even if that happens, I don't know if I would do that. I would do 3 firsts plus the player and more for Russell Wilson. I think he's that good.
Deshaun Watson too.
Yes, I would give up a little bit more for Watson than I would for Wilson. I would give up 3 firsts, and I honestly would give up Sweat because I know people are gonna be, why are you gonna give up Sweat? I would give up Sweat because I think he's more valuable than Payne, because edge rusher is more valuable than interior defensive line, and also Sweat has an extra year on his contract. Like, if you think about the Seahawks, why would they want to trade for Daron Payne, he's a great player, but they're if they trade Wilson, they're in rebuilding mode. They don't want to be, Payne's gonna be on the last year of his deal. I mean, unless they want to trade him again, I don't know if you really want to do that. They're gonna have to be paying an interior defensive lineman $16 million a year. So I think Sweat would be more the case where they got 2 years with him, and they have time to get an extension done with him. So I think that would be more the case. So I'd give up 3 firsts, Sweat. I know people are going to be like, that's crazy, but I would do that for Wilson. Rodgers, though, I'm not sure, just because of the age. Appreciate that donation. What do you think about what he said?
Washington needs to trade 3 ones, Payne, Sweat, or Young for Rodgers. No, that's way too much for a 39-year-old quarterback. If anything, that kind of trade is for not even Russell Wilson. That kind of trade is for Deshaun Watson and Deshaun Watson only, in my eyes.
Yeah, I mean, I think more realistic for Wilson, let's say, is 3 firsts and then a player like Sweat or Payne, and then maybe a mid-round pick, but not Chase Young, because Chase Young, yes, he had an underwhelming first half of the year last year, but I mean, he's worth way more. He's worth more than a first-round pick. So you're basically saying we'll give up 4 or 5 first-round picks plus, I guess he's saying Payne, Sweat, or Young, not 2 out of the 3. That's what for some reason, that's what I was thinking. But still, Young would be out of the question unless you're getting Watson or Wilson for me. And even then, it's hard to do. And I know some people are going to be like, "You're crazy," but I would give up. I would give up Chase for Wilson or Watson. I know some people might think I'm crazy, but at the end of the day, you need a franchise quarterback.
Chase is out of the conclusion with all trades. Let's make that clear. He's out of the conclusion with all trades. He's literally the face of this
No,
whole rebrand.
I think real quick, let me say something. I think I agree with you. I don't think they will trade him at all. But you're telling me you wouldn't trade Chase Young for Deshaun Watson? Like I know that's not going to happen. But like straight up, I would 100% do that. If Watson's clear, I would 100% do that.
Yeah, no, I personally would do that, but I'm just saying he's not getting traded. He's the face of this whole rebrand. Terry, Jonathan Allen, and Chase Young are the only three players that's off limits when it involves trading for any players, according to Washington. You know, who wouldn't trade Chase Young for Montez Sweat? I mean, who wouldn't trade Chase Young for Deshaun Watson, right?
Yeah.
But I think those three are off limits. They're literally the face of this rebrand.
Who? Terry,
Chase? John, and Chase.
Yep. Okay, yeah, I can go with that. I think I don't know. I would say I think Wilson. Someone said his trade value is the same as Stafford. I would say Wilson's is over Stafford because first Wilson's won a Super Bowl, and I know we're not going to go through that argument of playoff wins matter, but I think it does matter. And Stafford's shown that on a good team he can win, but Wilson's done it consistently. And he's been an elite quarterback for so long, like a top 5 guy. Stafford maybe was a top 5 guy like 1 or 2 years, but not really for a while like Wilson has. So I think the trade's going to be more than what Stafford, more than what the Rams gave up for Stafford.
Yeah. We say this. Freddie Lee says, "Hey, one guy, how about taking command of your house?" Well, you see my room. There's nothing wrong with it. You just see a cover over there. This is my room, bro. What do you mean? But yeah, no. Rams overpay for Stafford? Hell no. If they win the Super Bowl next week, they did not overpay for him. Let's make that clear. But yeah, it probably would be something similar to the Stafford deal. Honestly, if we're talking for Russ, what they give up exactly for
they gave up 2 firsts, a third, and Jared Goff, who some people think Jared Goff is like, some people are like, Jared Goff is bad to take on because, of his contract. Some people are viewing as a plus because the Lions general manager worked in the Rams front office. So
that's not bad. That is not a bad deal for Matthew Stafford. That if we traded that for Russell Wilson, I would be ecstatic. I mean, 2 firsts, a third, and a player. That come on now. That's a steal in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, imagine last year if we did that trade. We traded Jamin Davis, De'Ami Brown, and a future first-round pick and like a player for Matthew Stafford. I would 100% do that every single day of the week. But didn't Stafford want to go to LA? So at the end of the day, it is what it is. Let's see. This is a good question. Young Money D1 says, what do you guys think the chances are Heineke, is our starter again next year? I'd be done. So I would say week 1 starter, I would say very, very low. I mean, I could see him start a game for injuries, but I feel very strongly about this. I do not think Heineke will be our week 1 starter next year. Even if we get a rookie, I mean, Con's been reporting a Standig, Kevin Sheehan, like they really like Trubisky. They like some of these other guys. Even though I don't love Trubisky, I don't think they want Heineke as a starting quarterback week 1.
Yeah, I'm a little more optimistic than you on that front. If we get a rookie quarterback like Malik Willis, Taylor Heineke's more likely than not your starter week 1. I wouldn't be done if that's the case, guys. We know Heineke can win in this league. It's just he can't do it for more than 4 games probably. So if we get Malik Willis, Heineke possibly could be your starter, and I would definitely have Taylor Heineke my starter more than Mitchell Trubisky.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of either one at this point. Like I know people love Heineke.
I am. I'm a big fan from the standpoint of if we need a bridge quarterback. I know you said bring in Winston, but I would definitely rather have Taylor Heineke my bridge quarterback than anyone else in the free agent market just because he already knows this system. So yeah, Taylor Heineke is the number 2 quarterback. Unless we obviously go out and get a rookie and then get a veteran like Rodgers, but that's not happening. It's going to be either or, get a veteran or draft another guy. And again, like I said, with drafting a guy like Malik Willis, Taylor Heineke chances to be your week 1 starter are pretty high in my opinion.
I just can't watch Taylor Heineke play again. I really can't.
Let's say we can't watch Taylor Heineke play a whole season again.
Yeah.
Watching him play is a different story. I can
I'm
watch
fine.
Taylor Heineke play.
If he has to come in for an injury, I'm fine. If he has to come in for relief for a few games because someone gets hurt, I'm all good with that. I just cannot see him as the week 1 starter. I'd rather have a rookie start because I just cannot see. I can't watch Heineke start the season. I know some people still love him, but that's just my thoughts. Alexander Wilson, appreciate the $5 donation, says Rodgers is going to get traded for that amount, and Chris Cooley said he would do it and throwing the 3 players in. He'll get Rodgers 100% next year on this team. He's going to get you, in my opinion, unless the Cowboys go off, we're going to be first place in the NFC East and have a chance to contend. He's going to elevate everyone around him. He's going to get people to come in here for super cheap. Some of his former teammates like Randall Cobb, some of these guys, Alan Lazard, who's a free agent. They'll get these guys in here, minimum deals. He has that not as big of an effect, but kind of that Tom Brady effect where, Tom Brady goes somewhere, everyone goes with him. I think, something similar would happen with Rodgers where you can get other guys for cheaper. If you get Rodgers, you probably get Adams too. We'll see if he gets traded for that amount. If he gets you a Super Bowl, of course it's worth it. I would give up everything. I would give up everything if it means Rodgers gets you a Super Bowl. But I just don't see him coming here. I just don't see him coming here. Really, if you look at it, he's in a great situation. He's been in the same team his whole career. He's got a great head coach, or at least a good head coach. He's got the best receiver in the NFL, in my opinion, in Devontae Adams. He has 2 good running backs, solid offensive line, solid defense. So if I'm Rodgers, I'm staying, and he'll probably leave to go to the West Coast if he does leave.
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just saying if he does leave, he'll probably go to the West Coast. Rodgers.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think him and Devontae Adams might end up in Denver. I really do.
Man, that wide receiver room would be nasty in Denver. Jerry Jeudy, Adams, Hamler, what's his name? Patrick. Yeah, they would have to trade one of them away.
And yeah, you're definitely right, Alexander Wilson. If Rodgers comes here, he's guaranteeing you 13 wins. But you know what else? He's probably the greatest. That's probably a stretch. But maybe let's just say he's one of the greatest regular season quarterbacks of all time. But when it gets to the playoffs, it's always something with Rodgers. Whether it's him, whether it's the team around him, it's always something. So do you really want to trade away all of that for regular season success and get to the postseason and you're out the first round? Think about that. Yeah, we'll have a hell of a regular season. We'll be happy all regular season. But when we get to the playoffs, Rodgers hasn't been good as of late. And again, you can put that on him. You can put that on his team. You can put that on just the other team having a better game plan. But the guy had a first round bye, man. First round bye. And again, that's why I'm saying this specific year, yeah, you could put it on Rodgers too because he played terrible, but special teams didn't help him at all. So again, think about it. Do you really want to trade away all this for a 39-year-old guy that's been struggling in the playoffs, whether you want to say it's his fault completely or not? Do you really want to trade all of that away for a 39-year-old quarterback? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a tough question to ask, but still, even winning a playoff game, we haven't done that since 2005. At some point, we got to swing big, get one of these big name guys, because we haven't done anything in a long, long time. 2005 is the last time we won a playoff game. That's so sad and pathetic. We need to get our franchise guy, and I would prefer Wilson or Watson. But if we got Rodgers, I would be ecstatic. And I agree with Brian. or no, not Brian, with Philip. Let me see. If we get Rodgers, I'll get every jersey and change my insurance company's stat. I agree, State Farm. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, though, nothing really matters until you get a franchise quarterback. I mean, you see the Bengals, how bad they were. They get Joe Burrow, everything changes. Obviously, things went, a couple things went their way. They were able to get Jamar Chase in the draft, and a couple other things. But Joe Burrow made everything happen. He's the reason why they're in the Super Bowl. He's elevating everyone around him, and I mean, we need to get a franchise quarterback. A top, an average quarterback. You can win with them, but you're not going to consistently, unless you have an absolute elite roster. If you have an average quarterback, you're not going to, consistently contend and have chances to win the Super Bowl. Like, there's exceptions, like the Titans, who have an elite roster, but Tannehill is, an average, above average quarterback. Jimmy G, but the 49ers have an elite roster. So, we don't have that. We have a good roster, in my opinion, but we don't have that same level as the Titans, in my opinion, and especially the 49ers. So, getting an average quarterback, in my opinion, like Jimmy G, the more time passes, the more I do not want Jimmy G at all. At all. Like, the only way I would get him is if we can get him for nothing, like if we just sign him off the streets, but that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. But why would you give up like a second round pick or a third and a fourth for Jimmy G, who is average at best? You're going to have to pay him like $30+ million a year. It's going to be Alex Smith all over again, but it's going to be a worse version of Alex Smith, and you're going to be stuck with him for many years. And he's injury prone too. Every year he gets injured. So I know Jimmy G wins, but he has an elite roster around him. I do not want Jimmy G here in Washington unless we get him for absolutely nothing.
Even if they say you can get him for a bag of peanuts, I do not want Jimmy Garoppolo here at all. I don't. Please. If we get Jimmy Garoppolo here, we're going to be in the same realm that we continue to be in for the past decade. That's a mediocre, between 7 and 9 wins. You will not win anything significant with Jimmy Garoppolo. Please stay as far away from Washington as possible. Please, I beg you.
Yeah, I really hope we do not trade for him. That would be a disaster. Jay World says, "What are we doing about a team chant?" I don't know. Jason Wright said they haven't figured that out, but I think it's going to be similar to the old chant, but they're going to change stuff up. So we'll see how it is. I honestly don't really care that much. I love the old song, but it's not. It's not going to feel the same. So
Yeah, I agree. My fault. I didn't know you were you done talking? My bad.
Yeah, I was done.
No, I agree. It's gonna be cringy as hell, bro. Let's just be real. It's gonna be so cringy. It's not gonna hit the same how last name. Nothing's gonna ever hit the same how the last name did. But that's gonna be so cringe, bro. Like, I can't. What are they gonna do? Like, they're probably gonna try so hard to make it like how it was in the past. Like, it's just gonna be bad, fool. And I don't want no parts of a new fight song. Maybe I'll make one, but I just know if I make one, it's gonna be cool. If I make one, I'm gonna make that John like that.
Dude,
but
no, and even like like you were saying, the slogan like "Take Command" is just like #Take Command. It just doesn't hit the same.
Yeah,
And
I don't like it.
and they tweeted out too #HTTC. I like that better than Commanders, right? Hail to I like that better than the Take Command. Like, that's just weird. Take Command. I like Hail to the Commanders better because it is similar to what we had in the past, but I don't know.
Yeah, I like HTTC better too. But then again, even that kind of seems kind of forced too. So I don't know. I really hope if they make a fight song, I hope it's something cool. But I might should I make my own? Because I know I can make something sweet. I just feel like that. I feel like it's gonna be so cringe, man.
Make one when you have one. It's that dry part of the off season. Maybe like a few weeks before free agency or something like that. You can drop one.
I know for a fact I would do way better than this team. I'm telling you, I'm braced for impact, guys. Whatever huh?
No, go ahead.
No, you're fine. You can go ahead. I was just gonna say, literally, like, whatever they make, it's just gonna be so bad. Like, I already know.
the fans were making their. I mean, I know you like the white uniforms, but like I saw fan uniforms that were better than what they made, at least in my opinion, for the white ones. Again, though, we'll see how everything looks. Eventually, we're gonna get used to this. I'm gonna get a jersey. I don't know what color it is. Jay World's saying make one. He's telling me to make one. That's not my style. That's Juan's thing over there. If you guys want to see that, go ahead and check out his channel. He's already dropped a few fire songs, also his intro, so make sure you guys go check that out. Alexander Wilson, another donation. I feel like Jimmy G is the best that they can get, and be truthful, he's an upgrade over what we have. Okay, here's the thing. I agree with the part after the comma, but the part before that, like, I mean, he might be the best thing we can get, but if that's the case, don't just draft a rookie. I mean, he honestly, I guess I agree with that. He's probably the best thing we can do in free agency or the trade market, because we're not going to be able to get. It's going to be hard to get Wilson, Rodgers, or Watson. But if that's the case, don't go for Jimmy G. You can either keep Heineke, which you want. I would rather go for Winston or Trubisky. But either way, we're kind of on the same page. Jimmy G, in my opinion, would just be a waste. I'd rather get a rookie and pair him with a bridge quarterback, regardless of who it is. Jimmy G, though, in my opinion, it's just I don't want to pay him that. We're gonna have to pay him like $30+ million a year, and that's just not worth it, in my opinion. He's a solid quarterback. I don't think like the way he played in the playoffs wasn't as bad as he usually is, because he was dealing with that shoulder injury, with the hand injury, but that's part of it. That's part of the decision, because he's always hurt. He's always hurt. Last year he had a knee injury. 2 years before that had a torn ACL. So I don't know. I don't know about that. I'm gonna be real upset if we get Jimmy G. I mean, Jimmy G can lead you to the playoffs and maybe even get us to a playoff win. But with the roster we have right now, we can't win a Super Bowl with Jimmy G. We can't, and that's the ultimate goal. I rather go for Pickett, Willis, because they have more upside than Kenny Pick, or they have more upside than Jimmy G, and also you're gonna have him on a rookie contract for 5 years.
Yeah. Let me answer that question right there. Pedro, I know y'all don't like Taylor Heineke. I feel like Jimmy G is the best we can do. Do you really like? Hold on, bro. Jimmy Garoppolo is not the best we can do, and if that's the best we can do, we might as well start Taylor Heineke again. I'm going on record right now to say Taylor Heineke is better than Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't care what anyone says. Taylor Heineke gives you a chance to win games. Jimmy Garoppolo is a worse Alex Smith. He's not going to take chances down the field. Jimmy Garoppolo sucks. You put Taylor Heineke on that 49ers team, do they win? I don't know. They got Jimmy Garoppolo kept it close. But Taylor Heineke's better than Jimmy Garoppolo. Yeah, I said it. Give me all the smoke in the comment section. I could care less. That's my opinion, and I'm going to stand on that. Taylor Heineke is better than Jimmy Garoppolo, and if you honestly feel like that's the best we can do, you might as well just be like, hey, we should start Heineke again, because Jimmy Garoppolo sucks. Like, he's terrible, bro.
I mean, yeah, I don't like Jimmy G at all, and especially like if you gave me the choice, give up a second and pay Jimmy G $30+ million a year, or take Heineke, I'm taking Heineke 100%. Like, that's not even a question. I'm not doing that for Jimmy G. There's no reason to do that. I think Jimmy G is better than Heineke. I thought we disagree on that. You're higher on Heineke than I am, but I think we both agree that we don't want Jimmy G anywhere near this team next year.
Oh, no, I was just reading the comments because a lot of people I'm smoke, bro. Hold on, fool. Hold up. Give me 1 second here. I'm just gonna look up the regular season stats. I'm sure Garoppolo's is better, but
I think it was slightly better this year. Slightly, not that much.
Jimmy Garoppolo's 2021 stats are they're probably gonna enhance because of his playoff stats.
Nah, it doesn't count the playoff stats.
Oh, they don't? Okay. So he threw for 3,810 yards, 20 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. That is Jimmy Garoppolo's second year, or
second full year of starting.
second full year starting. Yeah, I was trying to do the math.
And
here.
that's the thing. He's always injured.
Taylor Heineke. Taylor, he threw. I want to say it was like 2,800 yards, something like that. Taylor.
More.
Taylor. Hold on. He threw. Jimmy Garoppolo only threw for 400 more yards better than Taylor Heineke last year. Taylor Heineke threw for 20 touchdowns, and they both threw for 20 touchdowns. Taylor Heineke threw for 3 more interceptions, and Jimmy Garoppolo had 400 yards better than Taylor Heineke. So if you're telling me you think the best we can do is Jimmy Garoppolo, and that's how you feel, and you're saying on that same token that you would rather have Jimmy Garoppolo your starter than Taylor Heineke, you're tripping. Look at their stats. It's literally identical. Like, Taylor Heineke is better than Jimmy Garoppolo, and I'm going to stand on it, and no one is going to change my mind. I don't want either one of these guys started, but if you truly feel like the best we can do is Jimmy Garoppolo, why you might as well say we should just start Taylor Heineke then. Like, honestly.
All right, Alexander Wilson. Juan, you're going to have to keep bringing up these points because Alexander Wilson, bring them back. If you go to Football Reference and compare Jimmy G and Heineke's last season, there isn't one stat that Heineke's better than Jimmy G. Jimmy G's QBR was 53. Taylor was 39.8. And here's the thing with Jimmy G. I mean, he was playing. I mean, and again, I keep bringing this up. It's every year, but he was playing with, I can't remember what injury was. He missed a couple games, but he was playing through some bad injuries, which really hurt him. I'm taking Jimmy G over Heineke. I know you aren't, but I don't want to give up much for that for Jimmy G. I will go for Rodgers, like Alexander Wilson said, Watson or Wilson, and even Carr if you can go get him. And I think everyone over here agrees we don't want these guys as our starters next year. I would take Jimmy G for free, but that's not going to happen. The 49ers are going to ask for a ton for him. Not a ton, but like they're going to ask for a second or third round pick. And if no one gives them that, then they're going to probably start him next year instead of Trey Lance.
They're going to start him next year with Trey Lance. I mean, they're already working out a trade for Jimmy Garoppolo. Pray to God that our name isn't in that hat. Aaron says they both suck. End of story. LOL. Again, I just personally feel both of these guys are mediocre at best. And I just personally feel like if you think the best we can do is Jimmy Garoppolo, why don't you want Taylor Heineke starting then? He's literally slightly better than Taylor Heineke, and he's making dumb money more than Taylor Heineke. And as a Washington fan, why would you want a slightly better Taylor Heineke on that contract? Because that's the only way we're going to get him is if we trade for him.
Yeah.
It don't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I would stay away from Jimmy G unless we can get him for free, and that's not happening. That is not happening. They're going to ask for a lot, but let's hope, the biggest thing with me is the contract extension. I mean, that's the biggest thing with me. I do not want to be paying Jimmy G, like it would be different if Jimmy G had like a 2 or 3 year contract extension, but he doesn't. You're going to have to pay him. I do not want to do that. But appreciate the donation, Alexander Wilson. So we'll answer a couple more questions, but I think we're going to start wrapping up the stream. It's been a good one. The first Washington Commanders live stream of all time on this channel. But I mean, it's a good stream. Got a lot to talk about, a lot of different things. Senior Bowl tomorrow. It's sometime around 2 or something. Sometime around 2 should be interesting. I likely will be having a video, kind of recapping it, going over some of the guys that I like that fit Washington, probably the quarterbacks as well. And I mean, we're starting to get in that, off-season mode. The combine's going to come soon. Then we got free agency. Then we got the draft. So I'm super, super excited.
Yeah, same. Since I started doing this, it kind of helped me get through the offseason faster. Just because I get to interact with such great people like Pedro and like all you guys in the chat. And before you know it, we'll be right back here in August. And don't forget, John Allen will be wearing the Commander's uniform.
I heard he was wearing the I know they're wearing the helmet, right? But I don't know. Is he wearing the uniform?
Nah, the helmet. I think it's just the helmet because I think the Pro Bowl they had their own uniforms.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But yeah, yeah, I'm excited to watch. I mean, I'm not. I don't think I'm gonna watch the Pro Bowl, but I might watch. I don't think I'm gonna watch the Pro Bowl unless I have nothing else to do. But yeah, guys, thanks for coming on, Juan. Make sure you guys go check him out. Link in the description. Like always, if you guys are watching on replay, go ahead and check Juan out. Might be dropping a song for the fight song in the next, I don't know, month or so. Stay tuned for that. And
Maybe if they
yeah,
want.
thanks for coming on, Juan.
I appreciate you for having me on, man. As always, this is a blast doing this, and hell to the Commanders. Never say take command around me, please. I mean, obviously you guys could really say it. I really don't care, but it's so bad. I hate it, man. I hate it. But hey, hell to the Commanders, man. HTTC, and unfortunately, take command.
You got anything to plug? You got anything to plug?
Oh no, besides my YouTube channel, Juan Gotti Talking Sports is my YouTube channel. You can find me on there on the road to 4,000 subscribers, 400 away from 4K. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Juan Gotti Talking Sports too. I'm trying to get to 1,000 followers over there. So that's all I pretty much have to plug. Thank you so much for giving me this platform, and appreciate you for having me on again.
Yeah, appreciate everyone in the chat. Pippin, homeboy Aaron, Brian, J World. Let's see, Brandon again, Philip, Rashad, Damien, everyone in the chat. Hoodie, appreciate all you guys for coming through. And yeah, see you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.